Got to get it, Papa.
Yo voy a cantar esta canción, yo voy a cantar esta canción para mi gente.
Well, here I am in beautiful downtown Houston, Texas, and I'm looking for something, but not the same thing I looked for before, because a while back I had come over here and went on a secret tunnel adventure in the middle of winter time. It was freezing cold, and then I got down in the tunnels and it was boiling hot, and that was quite a shock. And but anyway, no, I'm here for something different this time, and you can see the hustle and bustle of downtown metropolis land, and I'm safely on the sidewalk though. That bus didn't almost hit me. It was a little ways back. But look, all this excitement. If looking at buildings excites you. But there's a very special, important building that I'm looking for. And I think I'm going to head down the sidewalk here and try to find it. Just hang on. I don't know what I'm going to run across down here, because it's all different and stuff, and they were like working on that place over there. They got scaffolding up. I haven't seen any secret entrances to the tunnels yet, but you never know when that might happen. So let's keep a lookout. Yeah, as in any busy city, there's always all kinds of repairs and stuff going on. So we got the repair brigade. Oh, and there's a giant crowd of workers over here figuring out what they need to do. So I'm gonna steer clear, because they might grab me and put me to work. Oh, there's a secret hatch they can go down. In the big city, they have stuff like secret hatches and stuff to get to everything. It's exciting and fun. I see my destination right in front of me and behind the camera, so you can't see it right now. But I'll spin it around and show you where I'm headed. And oh, there's somebody looking at me. Wait, you have to see this. Okay, here we go. Look that! Yes, that's the building I'm about to go into on Look That. Can you believe it? I'm gonna enter a skyscraper and scrape the sky with my face, and you get to see it all. But as I come down further, look that! Over there's somebody looking at us or peeking around the building. Which I wasn't expecting something like that, but you never know what to expect on Look That. But here's the actual place we're going to be entering. Yes, friends, it's the Houston Police Department, and I'm not here to get my concealed carry permit or pay off my bail or anything like that. I'm here to do something else. It should be quite interesting inside the building there if I can get to it. But there's oh yeah, I can cross the street. You gotta watch that around here, because they have special things that tell you when you can cross the street and not get run over too much. Yeah, when you come through, because it's a working police department here, there's a security and things like that, and you got to get checked in before you can do the tour. But it's not really a tour, it's a self-guided tour, but it's free, and you can come in and check out everything, starting with the wall of chiefs of police, going way back. And yeah, these are all the chiefs of police up until the present day, and we'll get down to the present day in a little while. You can tell there's a few. Houston's been here for a while. And there we go. So look that. Yeah. And this, I believe, is if you see a patrolman, what was this? Okay, and there's other secure areas you can't go in, but I just won't go. Because you can go upstairs and see stuff or whatever. If you have somebody you need to talk to in particular, have an appointment. But this is Officer E.A. Thomas's uniform here. Served till 2011. And you keep going. We're just getting through the entrance here. And there's a giant flag with the badge. Look at that. And it is known as Space City. So they have the cool Earth with the little orbits on it related to NASA. In case you didn't know, NASA kind of got started in this area, to say the least. But here's the museum area over here. Look all that. But there's all kind of stuff. We'll have to go through and take this in order. And look, here's some information because it's free. They have one of those code things. You can look at that and click on that or something. It might work. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But you punch that and you go do that and you see all of that. And that's about all I can say. But I see robots and all kind of stuff in here. And I don't think this is a current kind of cruiser they use, but it's all decked out with real live lights on it. Oh, it's got a little emergency brake and a shift. Look at all that. Here's my hand for scale. In case you couldn't tell, it was not full size. And the trunk opens up, but I think that's where the motor is. That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome too. I don't see a sign for him. It might be Police Bot 2000. He's got his arms raised, prepared to detain you if needed. But my guess is a lot of these things they would take to schools and stuff and different events to entertain the kids and talk to them about the police department and everything and how the police department takes care of us and keeps an eye on us. Keeps law and order going. There's a few artifacts, some old ones. There's an old picture of a headquarters. Walkie-talkie. And this is a fun one because it's got the box on the back, so you keep all your snacks in there when you ride around, and arresting people and stuff that you have to do. There was a rumor that at some points in their off-duty time they would fill it with ice cream and go give out ice cream, but I made that up. And in case you never saw one before, this is a Medal of Valor that was presented to this member of the Houston Police Department. It's Sergeant Kendrick Simpo. And that's pretty cool. Not too many people get a Medal of Valor. And not too many people actually get to see one this close. It's a looked at exclusive. Oh, this is some interesting stuff. This is back in the 1920s, I believe. But there's a detective named Fondren. Last name was Fondren, and somebody shot at him, and he was saved by his pocket watch and a fountain pen, which you can see right there under the giant finger. But the bullet hit those two things in his pocket and deflected, so he was okay. I think he ended up in the hospital, but he was okay. He was back on the job like pretty quick. And if you need radar patrol, here it is. This is an early 50s Ford. This might be a 1950 Ford sedan, two-door sedan. And equipped with radio, not radar. It has radio in it. Oh, and there it is down at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. A lot of reflections going on. But down there, way down there under the dash, is where the radio is. And I think on top he probably had one of those little bubble lights. That's what that little ting is right there. But this is in real good shape. So there you go. At this point we can look up and see they have some things. They have another robot up there. A police bot 2000. Wait, it's got a name. Officer M. I can't see it. His badge is in the way. But there's some different typical uniforms depending on the jobs. Because the police department has a lot of different jobs, all the way from doing desk work to climbing on ropes and rappelling down buildings. Here's something a lot of people don't think about too much is they say the police departments all over the country really, but in Houston in particular right here, they prepared for possible invasion or attack during World War II. So they had some special equipment like this gas mask setup right here that was issued, and fortunately we never had to use anything like that on American soil. So there you go. And these are the uniforms of the Honor Guard that actually wasn't even started till 1972 according to this. And the Honor Guard does special events and memorial services and funerals and things like that for officers. And there's a couple of group pictures of some of the Honor Guard members. But they're a little fancier than the regular day-to-day uniforms. And they have a special badge treatment. You know, when they started having the motorcycles and stuff, of course this is a newer motorcycle, but this is some of the older stuff. And that's how they dressed back in the day. And then they got radio on their motorcycles. They even had different helmets and a cool uniform, and they got to wear a cool bow tie. I bet you didn't know that. And here's some of the radar equipped stuff, and this was a uniform from 1928, and this is wonderful because it was made of wool. And it says on that little sign there, it's hard to read, but it says it's extremely hot during the summer months in Houston, and you are wearing a wool uniform with a tie. So I mean, if anybody deserves respect, it's the guys that were decked out in these wool uniforms doing their work. And here's a cool old radar unit. I guess that would mount onto the side of the car on the door, and you could track you with that and tell how fast you were going, how bad you were being. And this is a 1920s motorcycle uniform. The badges were pretty simple. It's hard to see with the glare. There we go. But the badges were pretty simple back then. But they had a cool insignia on the arm. If I could keep the giant pink finger out of the way, you could see that. That was pretty cool. Yeah, this wall here kind of shows a history of what typical uniforms and equipment were like over the years, starting way back in 1836. It pretty much didn't really have an actual uniform. You just dressed nice, but everybody dressed nicer back then. They'd wear a coat and tie all the time and a cowboy hat. And they had different accoutrements to help them complete their duties. Like pocket watch. It's like the one that stopped that bullet. There's some shotgun shells. There's a revolver. There's a knife. Never knew what you were going to have to deal with back then. Get a lot of reflections, but this is around 1900. Uniforms started to look a little more military style. Like this looks almost like an army uniform, even the color and everything. And look at that. That's a station sergeant spittoon. And there's the actual telegraph. You open it up and it had the little phone inside. And they got police whistles back when they used whistles. I don't know if they use whistles too much anymore. But a little billy club like that might come in handy. As I learned from an MP when I went to visit the USS Alabama. And let's see, this is in 1930. We're getting more toward the modern age. There's a little the call box. The phone would hang inside there and you could call up and get help. Now that's a summer uniform from the 1930s. That's actually the dress uniform with the tie and everything. It's probably a little bit lighter than the wool one. And as you can tell from this supercomputer, that's more advanced than the looked at supercomputer, but that's okay. Because the police need their equipment and they need it to work good. And this is something that you would have found in one of the cars back in the 1970s. And some of this may start to look a little more familiar. It's really hard to see without, look at it, there's a guy's with his reflection in the window. But got your tactical gear and everything to use to fight crime around here. And there's a officer being friendly with a little kid, helping him get safely across the street on a tricycle. And now we're entering the space age. And this is the Space City patch right there. But this is pretty much modern now. Uniform. Oh, they got some cool hats and helmets and stuff. Yeah, that's with like a laptop now. You can drag it around with you. You get in a bind, you can throw it at somebody. But that's not recommended. We'll go back in time right now because these are different hats that are used by the department. Going back. Not sure the years on all of them. They're still using caps and like you could say captain hats, captain style hats at this point. But then you go back and you start to find some the helmets. That's pretty cool. And those are pretty old. Oh, and I hear sirens. And I have to watch my head because right behind me, hanging above the displays here, is a helicopter. That's a teeny tiny little helicopter. They could just keep an eye on stuff with that. I don't think they would pick people up with it. unless you had a good rope and a hook. And here's some of the animals that have helped with the police department over the years. You have, of course, these aren't actual animals. That is representing a canine unit officer, and there's a mounted officer with his horse. We'll come around and get another angle. But I was looking at this down here. Did you know that R2-D2 was involved with the Houston Police Department? Well, now you do. You see, the canine had that little blanket deal that they could wear. There's an actual canine. And of course, horses are always very versatile to be used with policing. Oh, we get a lot of reflection out here. Let's see where it comes from. Over there. Because this is right on the street here. You can actually see a lot of this if you just peek in through the windows. But yeah, there's some sword. Oh, it's hard to see. There are some swords in there. Let's see. Try to make the shadow of power. Don't think it worked. There's some mounted officers from back in the day. And they had their own special handbook, just in case you forgot. And this is what the police department looked like back in the early 1900s, right around the turn of the 1800s to 1900s. See, I can relate to that because I was born in the 1900s. Oh, and here's some firepower for you. There's a Tommy gun and a... What is this? I think that shoots a tear gas bomb or something at people. That's a Tommy gun with the bullets in the little cylinder there. Magazine. Yeah, that's a tear gas gun. That's what I thought. See, I'm not that dumb. I mean, I'm pretty dumb, but I'm not, well, you know, relatively speaking. But I think it would go boom when it shot. Yeah, that's my interpretation of how it sounded, because I hadn't heard one of those go off in a couple of years. I wasn't supposed to say that. Let's see, here's some other uniforms. Some of the ladies' uniforms. That's a fairly new one there. This is 1992. Different versions of the uniforms. It's hard to see with the reflections, but you can see they got a light and dark blue. This is interesting. I'll put this on here so maybe you can read that if you know how to read. But this is actual hat. Saved from way back then. And he was actually a movie actor and a stunt rider, including North of 36 and Woman Handed. I don't know those movies, but that goes pretty far back to the 20s, so that's interesting. And for all you motorcycle buffs out there, here's a ride. That's a good piece of equipment there, and it makes a loud noise when it goes fast, chasing bad guys and stuff. It even has a cool exhaust on it. And this is a sort of a memorial area they have with badges of fallen officers from the years going way, way back to the 1800s. Yeah, quite a few people went to work and never came back over the years. And this is interesting. This is old Houston Police Department history right here, because people could get their shoe shine. They had a guy that ran the shoe shine stand named Mr. Ed, or nicknamed Mr. Ed, and that was his chair that he used. And it talks about how you'd have to get your shoes shined, and you'd get a good conversation when you went to see him. But people don't wear shoes that have to be shined very much anymore. Oh, and I almost missed this one. They were over by themselves. That's the bicycle patrol. And this is what it looks like when a helicopter's about to land on you. Look that. I mean, look out. Well, if you're in downtown Houston and have a chance to come in, do yourself a favor and come visit the police department. And they'll check your ID, make sure you're okay. I got in, so I mean, you know, that says something, I guess. But I've only talked about a few things on display here. There's a lot of stuff, and it's interesting to see the evolution of the police department over time, from the early 1800s all the way through today, even to where they have stuff like helicopters and robots running around. See, there's the robot. And yeah, do yourself a favor, come in for a little while, see what happens, see how things went, and check those the memorial area out and pay some respect, because the police do a lot more than most people would want to do for a job. Well, it's flashback time on Look That, because if you see behind me, there's some giant French fry sculptures. and the train thing too. It passes nearby, like right over here. But look, there's some more French fry sculptures. And the other reason it's a flashback time is because this is where the secret entrance to the tunnels is. Look that! Yes, back when I came before, when it was freezing cold, that's a secret entrance to the tunnels. You go in there and you go underground. Yes, it's amazing and mysterious, and some people never come back, or at least don't come out of that entrance. So just so you know, somebody's going in there. I'll show you inside real quick. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, they came in and they're already gone. But that's the secret entrance right there. I'll go no further. Check back soon for more Look Dat.